Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, how are we getting on? Welcome back to a brand new camp, and today we have a little tour video rather than the usual build, as plan A on that front unfortunately did not pan out. But let's have a little look around this place and see what is, I think, one of my favourite camps recently. So let's jump to it. Okay then, so here we go. Brand new camp. As I say, my original plan was to do a full build on this as per usual, but unfortunately that really did not pan out. The building process was really quite chaotic and it would not have made for a good video, so we'll focus on a tour for now. Let's have a look where we are first and foremost. You may have noticed from the title, this is built on the infamous Acid Cave. A lot of people have built here over the last couple of years. It's a really good spot. It's built somewhere I've been meaning to build for quite a while, so here we are. Easiest way to find it is we're pretty much due south of South Mountain Lookout here. Right on the edge of this sort of area of hills. We've got a fisher site there and Lake Eloise just to the south. So, yeah, if you actually fast travel here, you end up sort of over here somewhere, so it's an easy run up. We've got Fort Defiance over there and Foundation as well. So, south centre map, so not a terrible spot. It's quite a popular area, this sort of segment of the map. So, quite a good spot to be. Bit of competition for the location, as it's got both an acid and a lead resource, as we will see in a moment. But, as you will notice from the title, there is a cave involved in this. But where? Well, we'll get to that in a bit. So, this is actually one of the last parts of the camp I built. This is the shop, the sort of front of the camp that most people will see when they arrive. A little defensive emplacement on the front there, just to cover this sort of slope down here. Got the lake's just sort of down behind this swell of land here that you can't really see past. So, just covering the road up from there. I do quite like this. The staircase there, I'm not totally sold on. Really happy we can stack those stairs though. Ooh, incidentally, data miners have recently found new textures for those staircases coming into the game, probably with steel rain. So, very, very cool. Here we have my little fortification for my generator. I've actually maxed out the number of generators I can have in this. So there are a couple of issues I had with this build, but there was an absolute ton of them. But that's where I've tucked my generator for now. It's out of the way, just on there. There's possibly other places I could put it, but that'll do for now. Let's head on up. Out front of the shop here, we have a little patio area using the new floor from the current season. I don't think I can change that ramp out for a floor. I didn't actually try, so maybe I should have done. Should have done that wooden one as well, maybe. But I do like this little patio area. It's a simple but nice little hangout space. Especially when we get nice weather like we've got right now. It's a nice spot to hang out. Kind of reflective of the weather I'm enjoying at home at the moment. So I do like this. Dead simple little shop. Sort of just built out from the foundations which went in to support the staircase at the back there. We sort of lean over here. Sort of see this foundations stagger up a little bit. I used ramps to drop them down by the appropriate height each time to accommodate the slope that we're building on here. Let's have a little look inside. There we go. This is my shop. I need to establish whether or not I actually need to wire these vendors up. I don't think I do. I think they'll work without it, which would be preferable because I really don't need wires running through the walls in this place. So relatively simple on the decoration here. Dead simple, 3 vendors in because why not? Makes it easier for people to shop and fills up the space a little better. I do like the combination of those Wild West bar pieces, which I've doubled up here. Got 2 rows of them, sort of back to back, and they all snap together quite nicely like that. So if you want a double depth countertop like that, works really, really well. Keep an eye out for when that Tipsy Tom set reappears in the Atomic Shop. And obviously the brass, copper, whichever it is, cash register, vending machines look really good on the top of it as well. They go nicely. It's cool. A few other bits and pieces in here. So it's not vast amounts, but it does the job. A little carpet. And a staircase going up to the door to the stairs. So we'll go up here first. We'll take a look at the other bit in a moment. Now, CD shed door is kind of backwards again, but it works better that way around on this. I'll close the door, seems I'm asking everybody else to do it. Tuck my camp unit here for now. This is not the original place it was. I've moved it around a fair bit. I'm trying to persuade it to spawn me in a sensible place rather than inside the cliff or right halfway up the cliff or whatever. So, dangerous set of staircases. So I thought I'd put some warning signs up in case anybody does decide to explore up here. And we can head on up and away. Up the cliffside. We sort of look here, you can see the cliff kind of leans back. Which is slightly awkward for the purpose of the staircase, but does the job. cracking view out over the Southern Savage Divide from up here. Very, very cool. We'll turn back around and carry on up. I've run out of budget on this one. I've got a tiny little bit left, but unfortunately fencing off or walling off these stairs would be a bit difficult. I might have been able to snap walls to it, but I'm not sure how that would have looked anyway, and railings unfortunately do not snap to the stairs. Here we are up at the top, and I've basically hand-placed these railings up here. As I say, things don't snap. A little arrow there to indicate where the shop is. And squeezed a little bit of decoration in up here. This is basically just to allow access to the top of the cliff, but I wanted to have a little something here. I didn't have a lot of budget, so we've got a little bit going on. Appropriate sign. The electricity bit not so much, but the danger of death is definitely true. So, random little Halloween vibed coffin thingamajig here. Don't know why, just felt like it. So started finding the pieces, thought, yeah, why not? So the interesting thing, one of the problems I had is I didn't put the camp unit quite high enough up the cliff, which I hadn't realised until way too late to do anything about it. So if I'm standing on here, basically where this coffin is as high as the build area will go. Any higher than that, can't place anything. So if I do what I'm about to do, which is jump up here, standing up here, you will find that you're actually outside the build area, and the build menu starts to close on you when you're standing up here. But if I drop down here again, it's just about low enough that I'm back inside it. So I'll show you in a minute where I put the camp unit originally, but you'll definitely want to go higher up if you're going to do something like this. So here is the little lead extractor, right on the edge of the camp area as well. Literally the green limit to the camp area, the build area, goes right across this fence of the extractor there. So very much on the limit. And I've wrapped a couple of junk fences around the generators I've got at the back there just to keep this thing powered. It's all locked up. One turret. Unfortunately, I can't put anything on the top. Even wiring this was a problem because that conduit at the top there is sticking out of the build area, so it wouldn't let me connect a wire to it. It took some persuasion, but I got there eventually. So very, very simple up here. Just enough to protect that and give me access to it for a constant supply of lead, which, as regular stream viewers will know, is something I desperately need. Head back down here. You can kind of get stuck in there, so I was being a bit careful there. And the other good thing about this place, obviously, is I need to convert lead ore into acid a lot, and there is an acid node that we will get to in just a moment. Stand here, you can see down onto the patio, hope you're not afraid of heights, and my little farm area over there. Nice little view. Just about see the water through the trees, just about, if you know where it is. These walls, incidentally, I like the fact that I've got them reversed because it's, you know, a bit of extra texture, a bit of a different style, but they're actually reversed because I couldn't snap them on the right way around. I had to put extra foundations in behind. Fortunately, would snap in and then put the walls on backwards because it was being awkward. But hey, it works out. My plant's a little far back there. I have to nudge it forward so it doesn't peek through the wall. Yeah. Technically, that door's on backwards as well, but again, I want it to open a particular way. There we go, our little patio. So, that's the first half. We'll move towards the pièce de résistance, which is the cave, which is hiding behind these trees. And the idea here was that at any time of day, I didn't want the cave to be obvious. I wanted it to be hidden, out of sight, so anybody who's not looking for it will just run straight to the shop and not even realise it's there, unless they already know. So, I've covered it up with some extra trees, put some brambles at the bottom of it, and you really can't tell. At night, there's a tiny, tiny glimmer of light comes out of there. The trees hide most of it. So, it does quite well at having like a hidden kind of bat cave vibe, which you'll see in a moment. Oh, yeah, there's my shelter tucked behind the turret there, and the water purifier as well. I don't know if I've got the budget for another one, but I probably haven't got the... Well, I might have the power as well. I've got full mixture of all the crops that I need at the moment. I've got gourds, I've got razor grain, and I've got corn here. Just to make sure I've got everything I need for that. Cranberry relish, the hard lemonade when I need to craft that, and corn soup, because I munch a lot of that. Turret just covering this approach, just in case. Although last time I got attacked for super mutants and they spawned inside the cave, so that was not ideal. I love this tree, it's absolutely gorgeous, it really adds something to the camp. When you're building out of the cave, which was my original idea, it's smack in the way. So building anything around here would have meant the branches kind of clip through it. It is a really nice tree. So yeah, it had to be avoided, but hence why we've got the shop over there. But I'm happy with how it's come out, it looks good. And then we got our little Nuka-Cola collectron, because we've got to have those Nuka grenades. Let's have a little look at our hidden bat cave of sorts. So here we go. Finally got an excuse to use the Vault 76 door. Oh, I said I was going to show you where I put the camp unit. It's on that ridge right there. Sort of see it in the middle there. I initially put it up there, and it's just not quite high enough for this build. So, something to think about if you do decide to build in this area at some point. If you want to be on top and at the bottom. You need to be a bit further up the cliff. So, we have a little wall. Just closing off this cave with a 76 vault door from the last season, I think. Very happy about that. I've made a point of putting the signs over towards the right because you can kind of see them from over by the camp. If they were to the left of the door, so I moved it across. I like that, kind of put people off coming in here. It's also locked, so there's that too. And here we go, our little back cave. Let's close the door behind me. And there we go. I've seen it from the thumbnail. It's a bit brighter on the thumbnail, but there we go. One gloomy little back cave. So I really like how this came out, but it was a total nightmare to do. So I'll show you around and we'll talk a bit about what we did. So a little workbench and stuff just inside the door where you can access it nice and quickly. All my workbenches are in here. So sort of my hidden little layer. A few bits and pieces there. When it comes to getting stuff on the wall, it's just a matter of where can I make stuff stick that it doesn't clip through too much so it'll look good. Same with the lights. I did actually have originally some more cave lights at this front edge. Cage lights rather, not cave lights. But as I say, you can see a lot of light coming out of here. Unfortunately, there is the major problem, or one of the major problems. I can't close that gap. I can't get anything to sit on top of the wall. I couldn't put a floor up there and block it up that way. I can't put an extra half wall on the top because it won't clip through, which is very, very annoying. Should be way more forgiving than that. Should be able to build into it. IMO. But there's the wink, wink, nudge, nudge. The other issue I had, we'll get to in a moment. But we'll take a little look around here first. So we've got one of the mannequins here. Just put the cave diving suit on it. It kind of works in here. I like it. A couple of bits and pieces in front of the acid extractor, which I've kind of decorated up a little bit and buried inside of other stuff so that it doesn't stick out too much. A little bed hidden in here. Oh, I did not realise my plushie was floating there. I might have to tweak that at some point. A few little bits of displays. There's my weapons workbench. Come down here. Oh, I took a stash box out of here when I was trying messing around with stuff, and I need to put it back. There's one of the major issues as well. Got our power armor station here. Problem with the power armor station is, if I use it, I take damage from the acid node down here, which unfortunately there's nothing you can do about that. It's just going to hurt you if you get close to it, which is very, very annoying, but doesn't actually pose any particular threat. So I do wish it wasn't a thing, but what can we do? So, moving on, we've got a chemistry bench around here. A couple of bits and pieces on the wall as well. Just a random minigun. Why not? You see we've got foundations all over the floor in here, incidentally. Kept them as the basic stone, because it kind of looks more natural in the cave. Not too natural, which is kind of what I was going for. If I tuck back over here, actually using these workbenches doesn't affect my getting hit by the acid, but if I move any further forward I will. The decon arch tucked in nice and tight there. I've actually kind of flipped it around so it's backwards because it sticks out a little bit further. Still takes up the same amount of space, but it means it's a bit easier to get in there and activate the arch and sort of take advantage of it when I switch it on, which I can do from here. He says. Okay, maybe it's a bit busted at the minute. I'll have to look into that. Turn it off. So, we will shuffle along here. Got a little bit of decoration while I'm taking a bit of damage. Couple more jennies here. I think I've probably got enough power. I think I might just need to wire a couple more up again. But there we go. We squeeze around the back. Got our brewing station. There we go. And our cooking station. And our fermenter at the back. They have to go this way around in this current setup because otherwise there's just not space to use them properly. I had to tweak it a little bit because I had a bit of extra stuff over here and meant I couldn't use the cooking station. Coming back around here, we've got our symptomatic squeezing at the back. Little plant in there for some decoration. And you see some more generators at the back there as well. Going for these small ones because even though they put out virtually no power, they make less noise, put out less smoke, and they kind of fit into smaller spaces better, so they're kind of handy that way. Yeah, so if I turn on my Pip-Boy light, mind your eyes, where it narrows down here, and where I've got this sort of railing around the extractor is where it really gets to be problematic if you're building in here. Basically, to put a floor in, you have to have the extractor in first, and then put the flooring down, snap through the extractor, which is fine. Problem is, the wall kind of overhangs a bit more here, just where it starts to narrow. It's still sort of 2 and a bit wide. So, persuading the right number of foundations to snap in is fine further towards the entrance. They'll snap through the walls fine and cover the whole width of the space. But here, for some reason, they won't, which is absolutely maddening. So I had to independently put this one in, pull out all of the foundations connecting to it, and then reposition them all to get this one in. And then these are attached on this side. And then we've got a gap here, so it's effectively 2 different floors in here. And then those ones at the back I was able to just pop up nice and easily. That was no particular difficulty. Now we'll swing back around with the light on so you can see in a bit more detail. There we go. Loads of little bits, pieces of signs just stuck on things to add a little bit of texture, a little bit of flavour, make it look a little bit more interesting. So, a load more stuff just tucked up there, flags and stuff in a few places I could put them without it looking terrible. Yeah, all in all, pretty happy with my little back cave down here. I am fond of this one. Do wish I could close that gap up though. A couple of things I would like the game to be a little bit more forgiving on there. Let's close the light off and head back out. Well. Oh, incidentally, for this door, I had to pull the main floor out and then line a foundation up to come through here so I could get this wall in. Then snap the wall into place, then put the door on. And after the door was on, I was able to take all the foundations back out and re-extend the original set of foundations that are inside. So these ones, which you can see are on a bit of a different angle to the door is. Sort of look from there. So I then took the original foundations that this door was standing on out and then extended these ones out underneath it to create this kind of lip here. Which basically, when you've got a doorway in, you can effectively float it like that. But it has to be connected to a foundation in order to attach a door to the doorway. So make sure the door's on before you take the foundations off. As I found out the hard way. So yeah, we will swing back on out. I am pretty happy with this spot. I do like it a lot. Thank you very much for hanging out and having a look around with me. If you did enjoy the video, please do consider dropping subs and likes for me. It's always very, very much appreciated. Down below as well, you can find social media links, the merch store, and channel memberships. If you're interested in supporting the channel in that way, it massively helps out. So massive thanks to everyone who's done that. And if you get a chance to join us for live streams as well, we are playing, of course, Fallout 76 and Mass Effect 2 via the Legendary Edition at the moment. Having a good time with that. So thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to speaking to you all very, very soon.